Hey, Cigar Craig. I'm here at the 2022 TPE, and right now I'm here with Scott Weeks of Recluse Cigars, and I haven't seen Scott in a long time.
It's been a minute. I missed you.
I
started stalking him around the show floor until he had to pay attention to me.
Yeah, it's probably been four or 5 years,
something like that. Yeah,
it's been a long time. But I'm glad to see you're still around.
Yeah, man, we've been Mach 5 with our hair on fire, so like it's crazy. You know, the business has been good, life is good. You know, treat people the way you want to be treated, and good things happen. So,
yeah, man.
Too blessed to be stressed.
And you're here with the Recluse Cigars again?
Yes.
That's good.
Yep. And a little something that maybe your viewers and listeners haven't seen before.
Really?
Our factory production runs, the iconic Leaf Cigar factory production runs that are made when the retailers order them.
Let's switch around. We can see them here.
So anytime you go to a retail shop and you see these honeycombs, those come from me and my company.
Nice.
And by the way, I own Iconic Leaf Cigar Company, and we have our own factory called Tabacalera Leyendas Cubanas, which is in Santiago in the Dominican Republic. Cool. And that's our factory, but we use leaf from all over the world. So these factory production runs, when a retailer orders these, that's when we actually make them. So a retailer will give us an order, and then we'll take a pair of rollers. That's a person that does the wrapper and a person that does the filler, and they'll sit next to each other for 2 days and roll that retailer's production for 2 days, and only that retailer's production. And then once that production is done, then the cigars go into the settling rooms for 3 weeks, and then they're imported into the United States, and then they're shipped directly to the retailer after we get the customs clearance paperwork on it.
Neat.
So it's one of the freshest cigar that you can get anywhere in the world. Comes from right here out of these honeycombs.
Neat.
Because like from the time that they order it to the time it shows up on the shelf and you can buy it is only 4 weeks. Nobody else can do that.
Wow.
Okay? And
That's
incidentally, there's 2 ways to roll cigars in the world. Okay, 95% of the factories in the world, they roll their cigars with bunching method, and what that is that's folding the filler leaf. Okay,
sure.
And so you can roll more cigars like that. You can get more cigars produced every day like that.
Let me guess. Entubado.
Yes. So very good. So the other method is what only 5% of the factories in the world do, and it originated in Cuba. And what that is, that's called entubado, or entubado, or entubar. All 3 of those words in English mean tubing. So what we do is we take each filler leaf by hand and we roll them separately. And then we pull those separate rolls together, and then we put the binder leaf on it and put it in the press. Now what that does is that creates straight up and down airflow in the cigar, so that every cigar that you ever pick up from my company, anything that comes from Iconic Leaf Cigar, whether it's the factory production runs or whether it's our luxury blends, the Recluse, if you get a plug draw on that, I'll get on YouTube and shave your hairy ass and kiss it. And I haven't had to use my razor yet, so that's why you roll entubado.
Nice.
Is so that you don't have to have defective product. Okay. So that anytime you go into a retail store, you see these honeycombs, they come from me and Iconic Leaf Cigar Company.
Nice.
And retail price point on these cigars, like most retailers carry Robusto, Toro, 6x60, 7x54 Churchill, and 6.5x58 Torpedo, and they retail usually from $6 to $8.
Not a great deal.
Right. And but you got to understand something. There's different taxes in different states, so sometimes retailers have to put a little bit on top of there, depending on what the local government has, burdened them with.
Right.
And then we go to
take a gander down here at the...
And this is our flagship luxury blends, the Recluse cigars. Are truly, every manufacturer is going to say that their cigars are the finest cigars in the world, but I can actually prove it, okay? So our Recluse cigar products go through a process that no other manufacturer is willing to do, okay? First of all, every tobacco leaf in the world has ammonia in it. You got to get that ammonia out. Now, that's done through the fermentation process. Now, you sweat the leaf, and then the moisture evaporates out and it brings ammonia out with it. And then you sweat the leaf again, brings the moisture out, and it gets more ammonia out. Now most factories ferment for 1 to 6 months. My factory ferments every leaf in the cigar for 2 years. Okay, so what that does is that goes through 8 90-day fermentation cycles. And why do we do that? Okay, the reason why we do that is because you can take a fuller flavored leaf and you can ferment it for 2 years. And what that does is that gives you the smoothest flavor it takes you along a scenic ride through the countryside without a car crash at the end of your destination.
Right.
Okay. So you get all the flavor of the blend, but you don't get the baggage that goes along with it. Okay. So that's why we ferment for 2 years, because we consider every cigar that we make a mini vacation. We know that people, they go to work every day from 9 to 5 or whatever their work schedule is. The last thing they want to do is come into their cigar lounge where they go to escape from their work and their stresses of life, and then have to go back to work on the cigar, babysitting it for 2 hours, lighting it, changing its diapers and all that. So what we do is we try and create an effortless experience for the end consumer to where they can go into the cigar lounge and they can have a mini vacation with our product. You don't have to babysit it. Like I said, you don't have to change its diapers. You light the cigar. Every cigar's got a story to tell, and you got to read the book page by page. You can't jump chapters. And I challenge you to pick up any of my products and listen to the story that it's going to tell you, because it's going to be something epic and something that you really haven't experienced before in any cigars that you've ever enjoyed. Now, the last thing I want to tell you, if I could, is that okay? I don't know how long we're allowed here.
As long as my arm can keep holding this up here.
Now, most of our cigars, actually all of our cigars, are box pressed. And there's a reason why you box press cigars, okay? You need 3 things for combustion. You need fuel, air, and heat. So if you take a round cigar and you box press it, what you're doing is you're compressing the airspace in the blend. That forces the cigar to burn slower and burn cooler. Now, if you do that in conjunction with the folded filler, the draw never lives up to its full potential. But if you do it in conjunction with the intubado rolling, the tubing, then what you get is you get a cigar that burns slower, burns cooler, and has an effortless draw. And then with the 2 years of fermentation, you get all the flavor with none of the baggage. So as you can see, I take this seriously. Okay, this is something that I do for the end consumer, because I've been on all sides of this industry that I love, the cigar industry. I've been on all sides of it. My family's been in it for 80 years. And when I decided to do my own brands in my own factory, I decided that I was going to take the very best that I've learned from every manufacturer and put it all into one product. And that's what you have here with Iconic Leaf Cigar. And I hope that when you go into a retail store, you'll find time to enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Very cool.
I'd like to thank Cigar Craig. When I first started, he was one of the first people that came and interviewed me. And so I won't forget that. And what you guys do, you know,
we go back a long way.
Yes, giving exposure to the small companies like myself and helping us get the word out there is extremely important. So you can't put a price tag on that. So I want to thank you for being there and doing what you do.
Pleasure to do it.
Okay. Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good show.
All right.
Thanks.